Laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and the website. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we could remain standing for a moment of silence for our servicemen and women, both here and abroad.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Stampoulis?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Vasallo?
Here.
Committeewoman DuBois?
Here.
Committeewoman Budzinowski?
Here.
Committeeman Huber?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to start off with our proclamations. Madam Clerk, can you actually, let's adopt the resolutions for 2017-291 and 2017-292. So, Madam Clerk, can you please read those resolutions by title?
Sure. Resolution 2017-291. This resolution promotes Sergeant Jonathan Rachel to the rank of Police Lieutenant assigned to the Detective Bureau.
I move resolution 2017-291 is read by Madam Clerk.
I second.
Roll call. Deputy Mayor Vasallo?
Yes.
Committeewoman DuBois?
Yes.
Committeewoman Budzinowski?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Mayor Stampoulis?
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 2017-292. This resolution promotes Patrol Officer Daniel Caesar to the rank of Police Sergeant.
It's my lucky night. I move resolution 2017-292 is read by Madam Clerk.
I second.
Deputy Mayor Vasallo?
Yes.
Committeewoman DuBois?
Yes.
Committeewoman Budzinowski?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Mayor Stampoulis?
Yes.
Okay, we're set.
Okay, so at this time, I'm going to call up Lieutenant Jonathan Rachel to come forward.
Dress unions on. I like
those are so
them. I like them.
I know, right?
They're sharp.
I do. I like them a lot. Sharp.
Oh.
I, Jonathan Rachel, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of lieutenant according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
That baby holds the Bible. I'll be impressed.
Yeah.
That's one strong baby.
I, Daniel Caesar, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States best of my ability.
So help me God.
One more. Here's a charm. Mr. Rowan, come up.
You know the resolution? Do we have it? This year?
I, Matthew James Dolan,
I solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments
until the governments
established
established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform
perform
all the duties of,
all the duties of patrol officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I'd like to thank everyone that's here tonight that came out to support our officers. Again, I'll turn around and face the committee. And I'd like to thank everyone for your support again of our department and helping us to continue to grow and to be restructured. Somebody's trying to sabotage me talking too long, I guess. All right, I'd just like to say a few things, and usually I just wing it when I give speeches, but there's a lot to say about these guys, so I don't want to really leave anything out. Again, before I begin this, family and friends that are here to support these guys, thank you very much. To Matthew's wife, we'll take good care of him, trust me. I know I've said that speech to these guys when you first came on, but again, thank you for allowing us to have, sharing your families with our family. Regarding Sergeant Rachel, it wasn't too long ago that we had a talk about him. I guess it was about 3 years ago when he got promoted to sergeant. Anyway, John graduated the John H. Sandler Police Academy and began his career with Springfield in 2004. Where he had worked in patrol. In 2006, he was reassigned as the department's traffic officer, and that's a position he held for over a decade. During the restructuring of the department several years ago, John's position as a traffic officer was integrated into a new special services unit that we developed, which also incorporated working along with the Detective Bureau. Throughout his career, John has contributed to numerous projects in many operational areas of the police department. As the accreditation manager, he oversaw all phases of the accreditation process, ultimately resulting in the department attaining an accredited status and also successfully completing a reaccreditation this past summer. God bless you. Ooh, excuse me, it's hot up here. And it wasn't easy trying to fit back into this thing. So these guys wanted to wear it, so I said, all right, I'll go along with you. It's not easy. I starved myself all day today. John was promoted to sergeant in 2014 and returned to patrol as a supervisor for a period of time. In 2015, he was reassigned as the supervisor of the Special Services Unit, and where position he presently remains. He presently remains in that position. John is joined by his wife and children, Casey and Noel. His parents are here, I believe. And is your brother here, Jeremy? His brother Jeremy, who's a police officer in Florham Park. If you were here in 2014, you would have seen it was a pretty moving moment. John had his grandfather here, who was 99 years old at the time. His grandfather's a retired captain from the Linden Fire Department. He's unable to be here tonight, but he's 101 years old now, and I'm sure he's as proud of John tonight as he was, a couple of years ago. So our wishes out to your grandfather. Hope he's well. All right, enough about you. Jeez. Is the windows open? All right. It's not nerves, trust me, because once I get this mic, I don't ever shut up. I like talking, but. All right, Officer Zeezer. Dan grew up in Clark and graduated from Arthur L. Johnson High School. He attended Rowan University, where he graduated with a bachelor's in criminal justice. He then attended the John H. Stamler Police Academy and joined the Springfield Police Department in December of 2010, working in the patrol division. Dan was one of the initial group of 5, I believe it was, we hired at one time, the first group that I hired under my administration. Dan has been involved in obtaining grants for DUI enforcement as well as safe corridor funding. He also initiated the department's participation in the military surplus program, also known as LESO or LESO, I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but from which we have obtained several pieces of equipment for the township. Dan has also been one of our field training officers since 2014 and has trained several officers during this time. He was assigned to the USER, which is the Union County Emergency Response Team, in 2015 and 16, and he's joined here tonight by his wife Kelly, his parents, other family and friends, and the little one. And again, thank you to the family for being here. And I'm sure Dad would choose the public safety director or police director. Police director, his dad's a police director for Union, and retired from Newark as deputy chief. Dedicated a lot of years to law enforcement, from which Dan got that blood and is going to continue that. And again, parents, thank you for entrusting him to us. Officer Matt Nolan. Matt grew up in Jackson Township, graduating from Jackson Memorial High. At 21, Matt enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, where he was then selected to work in the Presidential Helicopter Squadron, the HMX-1, under President Obama. During his active service, Matt received his bachelor's degree in social psychology from Park University, and he recently graduated from the John H. Stamler Police Academy, from which we picked him up, and now he's part of us, which is when I wore this the other day, which I knew it kind of fit from standing in front of that crowd. And he's joined tonight by his wife, Amanda, and his 2 children, I guess, are home, being sat by someone. So again, thank you to everyone. Thank you for putting up with me. Try not to talk too long because I'm really sweaty up here. And again, thank you for supporting my guys. And guys, thank you for stepping up and doing the great jobs that you are, well, that I know you're going to do. And you guys, as new leadership of the department, I'm honored to be here and work with you guys, as always. Thank you very much, everyone.
Chief Cook, actually, you're not done yet. You want to do that other proclamation?
Yeah.
How about that one?
Take a sip of water, Chief.
The last meeting, we had Detective Lieutenant Levinson had retired, and I know the township had a proclamation that was read for him, that the mayor had read at the time. This is a similar proclamation, but it is from the Senate and General Assembly, the joint legislative resolution. It's a bit wordy, but I'll read it. I think Judd is still here. I don't know if he ran out. He's still here.
Still here.
I didn't tell him this was happening tonight. He showed up for the promotions, which, you know, he's always here supporting the department, even though he's retired, but he's, as always, part of the family. So anyway, this is what it looks like, so just give me a few minutes. I'll try to get through it real quick. All right, this is by Senator Kane, Assemblyman Bramnick, and Assemblywoman Munoz. Whereas the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey are pleased to salute Detective Lieutenant Judd A. Levinson, a highly esteemed member of his community, in recognition of his conclusion of an outstanding tenure of service with the Springfield Township Police Department. And whereas during his distinguished 38-year career, Detective Lieutenant Judd A. Levinson continually demonstrated his devotion to Springfield Township through his steadfast commitment to securing the safety and welfare of its citizenry. And whereas Detective Lieutenant Judd A. Levinson first responded to duty for the Springfield Township Police Department on August 1st, 1979, serving with distinction in the Patrol Division for 7 years before his assignment to the Detective Bureau as a plainclothes officer in 1986. And whereas demonstrating exemplary dedication and determined effort, Judd A. Levinson was promoted to detective in 1990, to Detective Sergeant in 2010, where he ably and effectively supervised the Detective Bureau and the Juvenile Unit until 2012, when he rose to the rank of Detective Lieutenant and assumed the duties of Commanding Officer of the Detective Bureau and the Administrative Divisions. And whereas throughout the course of his stellar career, Lieutenant Judd A. Levinson has attended over 100 investigative training courses given by various county, state, federal, and international law enforcement agencies, and he is a highly regarded Springfield's first Megan's Law officer, its first bias crime investigator, the department's liaison with state law enforcement agencies for organized crime investigations, the lead investigator on all homicide investigations, and as the department's public information officer. And whereas Detective Lieutenant Judd A. Levinson has been an active and enthusiastic member of and leader within many professional organizations, including the Springfield Patrolmen's Association, Superior Officers Association, the International Association of Auto Theft Investigators, the International Association of Financial Crime Investigators, the Jewelers Security Alliance, the National Association of Bunco Investigators, and the Union County Municipal Investigators Association. And whereas an array of honors and awards, including the Union County Prosecutor's Office 2004 Investigator of the Year Award, attests to the high regard in which he is held. And whereas the people of the state of New Jersey are genuinely indebted to hardworking and concerned individuals exemplified by Detective Lieutenant Judd A. Levinson, whose time and energies are devoted to improving the effectiveness of their communities and the quality of life for their neighbors. And this is the last whereas, it is both proper and fitting for the members of this legislature to pause in their deliberations to praise the superb law enforcement career of Detective Lieutenant Judd A. Levinson, and to commend him as a man of strong character and exceptional determination. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey that this legislature hereby honors Detective Lieutenant Judd A. Levinson upon the occasion of his retirement, pays tribute to his years of service and leadership in the field of law enforcement, and extends sincere best wishes for his continued success in all his future endeavors. And be it further resolved that a duly authenticated copy of this resolution, signed by the Senate President and the Assembly Speaker, and attested by the Senate Secretary and Assembly Clerk, be transmitted to Detective Lieutenant Judd A. Levinson. Suitable for framing.
Thank you.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, please do.
Are we done? Obviously, I wasn't prepared for this. I just want to say thanks a lot. And all the whereas, pretty much my whole career, all this stuff that says I did really a lot of really good things is what all these guys on this department do day in and day out. I mean, I might be singled out, and if I'm a representative of the department, that's great. But anything that these things say I did well, every guy in Springfield and every guy out there pushing a black and white, you know, 24/7 is doing the same type of job. So, thank you.
Thank you.
We have one more proclamation. Deputy Mayor?
Okay. Jerry's?
Yes. No.
Right. Okay. I'd like to bring Jerry down here. Jerry Ann? What? You just have a moment, if you could just step down, please. It's okay.
Looks nicer if I take it out of the box. It's very nice to say that we have a great audience, obviously 3 officers as well as Jerry and Bujanowski. I don't think I really need a microphone. Can everybody hear me? Yeah. So I have a plaque here. This is being presented to Jerry and Bujanowski in recognition of your tireless effort and devotion to the Township of Springfield. Jerry Ann is a Township Committee woman for this past year. The date is October 13th, 2016 to December 31st, 2017. So obviously we have a few days left with Jerry. Day is with us. And Jerry, I'd just like to take a moment. I know this is kind of formal to present her with this plaque, but I just want everybody here to know that over the past year, I became good friends with Jerry Ann. I've known Jerry Ann a few years. Just to let everybody know here, she's worked tirelessly in town, not only here at Town Hall, but for our veterans. You've headed up the Veterans Day Parade, Memorial Day services. That's a lot of work for an individual. She's a resident, but her heart is in this town. And I cannot thank you enough for your dedication, Jerry. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Again, sitting up here with these meetings, but also getting to know you as a person. Everyone in this room and everybody in Springfield should be proud to call Jerry Ann Bujanowski a Township Committee member. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Jerry puts Springfield first. She's honest, she's forthright. Jerry, I know that you also you worked on our finance committee, and you looked at our budget with a fine-tooth comb. Jerry would always say, you know what, Maria, I want to make sure that we don't waste money, that we look at everything we spend, and we make sure that we allocate those monies to the benefit of our residents. And she meant it, and she is sincere. So it gives me great pleasure, Jerry, to present you with this plaque. It is an honor to call you my friend, and I hope that we have years and years talking, collaborating, and staying in touch. So with that, I want to thank you. Yes. I'm going to try not to cry.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I think it's been a privilege and an honor for me to sit up there and to work with everyone. I've met so many wonderful residents. Working with everybody at Town Hall, really, it's been wonderful. So thank you again for the privilege and the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. I have one other announcement. We're going to have our township reorganization meeting on Monday, January 1st, 2018 at noon. At this point, I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and anybody that obviously wants to leave is very well to leave or stay for the remainder of the meeting.
That was very nice. much. They spelled my name wrong.
They spelled your name wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Cool. Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. Roof is almost up.
Thanks.
Nobody's doing reports?
That's what I was told.
I can do a.
We are going to be starting a meeting. Anybody that is still speaking can speak outside.
Linda, did you do the mic?
Hey, yeah,
Oh,
the electricity being off tomorrow. I got the email about it today. Electricity's off tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning?
all right, so hang on. Change? Yeah. It's administrator. The administrator's giving it.
That's what I was told. It wasn't me.
No.
Just let me know.
Okay, we're starting. All right, at this time, public comments. Anyone from the public would like to speak about agenda items only, please come forward, state your name, and be mindful of our 5-minute rule. Agenda items only. Anyone out there like to speak about agenda items only? This is your time. Seeing none, moving on to reports, finance.
I move to approve the total amount of payroll and vouchers from November 29th to December 19th in the amount of $1,792,84.12.
A second?
Committeewoman Bujanowski?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Vassallo?
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Mayor Stampoulis?
Yes. I was just informed that these reports are all just being submitted. So if anybody has a question from the committee, we can start with down here. I was informed that none of these.
Yeah, because it's a combined meeting for the month. We weren't going to have staggered schedules, so they all submitted the reports for the month of December, in December for the month of November. If you have any questions on them, I'd be happy to answer them if I can. I do have a number of things for you under administration.
Okay, so actually I have one thing that I want to say. The tree lighting, what a fabulous job that was. That tree looks amazing. Rob and the DPW did such a great job. Rob Betcher is back there, and terrific job. And we had, I think the chamber, did you guys put that? Okay, so they did all the music and what was it? There was a petting zoo and all this stuff for the kids. What a great job! What a great day! Thank you so much, and thanks Santa because he was here early. So everything was really terrific. Appreciate it.
And on the same note, everybody in town loves the lights and all that you put on. They say it's better than towns around us. I mean, I've gone to other towns and can't hold the candle to it. I think you guys did a great job this year.
Agreed.
Rivals Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
So I
That
was
was just a nice skating rink out front.
And I was there, and I can attest to that.
Any other questions on the reports?
Anybody? Yeah.
We haven't answered them. If there's anything else.
No.
Okay. All right. So I think you're the only one
Yes.
who's presenting a report tonight.
Sure. First thing, I just want to give you an update on the grants. Sorry, pulling up my notes here. Okay, thus far, about $15,000 worth of grants have been awarded to the Township of Springfield. We recently received recently received an award from SNY for some basketballs and a trip to some tournament that was really cool. They're helping us out with transportation. I don't know sports, so I'll just leave it at that. But some in-kind contributions as well. The grant writers have assisted us with about $75,000 worth of grants that we've also received. We have $1.4 million in grants in the pipeline that we're awaiting a response on, and there's over $100,000 worth of grants that are in progress for being written and developed at the moment. Any questions on those grants?
No.
Okay, on the topic of grants, I'll just touch on the Walmart Foundation grant now. That is something that Committeewoman Du Bois and Mr. Lieb and I have worked on. We are... Okay, can everybody still hear me? Yes. So it's for youth fitness education. Committeewoman Du Bois' idea was for us to utilize the gym at the Chisholm Community Center for 7th graders. And so that's what this grant is for, but I need authorization from the governing body for us to submit it. Nothing formal other than a vote by all of you.
Should I explain?
Yes.
Okay. The reason why it's 7th graders specifically, for the general public and anybody who doesn't know, YMCAs across the country, as well as the Connection, JCCs, they all have a program where 7th graders can have a free membership because they think 7th grade is a very pivotal year in a child's development. And if you can start healthy habits at that age, hopefully they can carry on throughout their life. So I thought, since we didn't have a YMCA in town, that maybe we could utilize the fitness equipment at Chisholm. I thought it was a long shot, but I thought it was worth a shot. And Adam and Ziad thought it was a good idea, and this grant opportunity presented itself. So if we do get the grant, we can have staffing so we can supervise the kids, and we can provide that for our 7th graders. So I thought it would be pretty cool. So hopefully it'll work out.
The only thing with the staffing, I want to make sure that there's people there that know about weights and things like that, not just somebody like me.
No, this is for, this would be for,
you, Rich.
no, but I mean,
this would be so we can get an education expert on
okay,
fitness.
I want to make sure we have that.
So that's down on the grants and the Walmart grant. On municipal tonnage grant, I want to just recognize Mr. Betcher, Mr. Rella, and Mr. Sarno, if you guys could come up here for a quick sec. So every year we submit municipal tonnage grants based on recycling, and it's about 2 years behind every year. Gentlemen, come on over there. Cameras can't get you. And this year we received notification of grant payout for 2015 in the total amount of $72,314. Now that in and of itself sounds like a big number, but let's compare it. 2014 was $46,299. That's a nearly $26,000 increase. And that's thanks to the hard work of these gentlemen right here, and especially Joe Sarno, who in that year was the coordinator for the recycling program. So I want to recognize them, and I think residents should know all that they do. So congratulations to the department. All right, go back to your seats now. They work a lot. They work very hard. I mean, I know that they showed me the paperwork that goes into this, and it takes a lot of time and effort, and they put a lot of time and energy into helping the town increase its recycling. So thank you, gentlemen, and enjoy your
Have a good holiday, guys.
Thank you.
The next item is the Union County Surfacing Project. I think you guys got a copy of that letter.
Yep.
It's somewhat routine. I just want to make sure that you're all aware that the county wants to do this repaving. They do give us the option to do it at a different time. Mr. Mardini and I believe Chief Cook, we concur that we want to do the paving at night.
Correct.
But unless you guys have any thoughts otherwise, I just want to run it by you, make sure there were no concerns. So Summit Road from Mountainside to Summit will be repaved at those dates, and we'll publicize it when the time comes. Another project is the dedication of Meek Street. That's right at the corner of, well, where the Antioch Baptist Church is located, on the corner of Springfield Ave and Meek Street. They would like to dedicate, in the honor of Reverend Clarence Alston, that street, and Chief and I have been working on that to explore that, what it would take, and we endorsed that idea and wanted to see if you had any thoughts on it. Reverend Alston had served that parish and the community for many, many years, and it's very fitting that we dedicate it. So we wouldn't rename the street, we would simply put a memorial street sign above it, calling it something like Reverend Clarence Alston Way. Unless there's any concerns, we wanted to see if we have the approval of the governing body to do that.
Of course, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Next, so I touched on the Walmart grant. I do have a couple things that have come in after that. I do want to just touch on briefly. Last meeting we talked about a hire for the fire department. The chief has been working with a candidate to send them through all the requisite courses. He seems to be progressing nicely, Chief, correct? Everything seems to be going along. So I do want consent to send a conditional offer of employment to this individual ahead of a resolution, which probably the soonest would be is January 8th or 9th. But I'd like to get the letter out before then. Are there any objections? Do you all approve that?
No objection.
Okay, all right, thank you. Alarm registration, the Police Department Record Bureau has sent out mailings on alarms. For anybody that's watching, it's required that you register your alarms annually. They're due by January 15th, Chief? You can do them online at springfield-nj.us/alarms. Letters have gone out, emails have gone out, and a lot of registrations.
Yes.
So we're improving that process. Mr. Mardini would like me to tell you all that Juniper and Timber Acres roads have been paved. We got them paved before the end of the year, and that's being done through a grant that the county is reimbursing us $75,000 for the repaving of those 2 roads. There's a resolution on the agenda tonight for animal control shared service agreement. I did receive some questions about that, so I wanted to address those. Right now, it's a shared service with Milburn. Previously, it was Associated Humane up until about 2010 or so, 2010, 2011. We were paying Associated Humane about $39,000 a year. It was a flat stipend of about $3,000-something a month, regardless of usage. With Milburn, we've been using them since 2011. About $43,000 has been spent in total. And that is as needed basis. So as you can see from the contract, we pay them for what we get, which has been tremendous. And for 2016, we spent about $5,413. Again, compare that to Associated Humane, which is kind of the monopoly in the area. They do service a number of towns around us. Some towns use them. If they don't use them, they might have an employee on hand that does the work themselves. Then you also have the added cost of sheltering. And I did send you a letter on that. There is a need for sheltering in the area. Union Township has their own shelter, and their shelter is at capacity as well. And the shelter that we used to use with Associated Humane was all the way out in Newark. This shelter that is used under this contract is likely going to be the Livingston shelter. So, any questions on that? Okay. And then garbage and recycling, 2 more resolutions that are on the contract. Just want to see if there's any questions. I emailed you all about that. We did explore, as I mentioned, that in the bids, we did explore Park Place, including Park Place in the bid. It turned out that their existing contract is cheaper than any of these. So it's our recommendation that we stick with the existing system, which is they contract and we reimburse them, much cheaper than what it would be to include them in this contract. We bid for your benefit and the benefit of the public. We bid garbage, recycling, bulk waste. We included a number of options for solid waste collection, which is the present once a week, twice a week, and then a hybrid of once a week with twice a week in the summer between Memorial Day and Labor Day. What's on the agenda for this evening is the hybrid model. It was at a modest increase over what it would be just once a week, but it was a good compromise. The twice a week is certainly a lot more expensive. We only had 1 bidder for garbage and 1 bidder for recycling. So the competition was actually not that great, but they are both our existing providers, and that's what you've got before you. Recycling, we're going to see a significant jump. That's going to be a jump for next year of over $400,000 a year. Their last bid, a year.
That's what I thought you put. I thought it was
$400,000 a year increase. That's going to be a big budget problem for us in 2018 because we're going from almost $50,000 to almost $450,000. There's also the difference in that right now we get $3 per ton returned to us from the contractor of what's recycled. We are not going to be getting anything from them. The reasons being that we're told, and from talking to people about this and researching the issue, is the recycling market is changing tremendously due to regulations from China. China takes most of our recycling, so that's affecting rates for the recycling materials. But also the vendor, the contractor who bid last time, made quite an error in their bidding, and they've been begging us to get out of it. And they wanted to get out of it prior to the two one-year renewals, but they were bound by their bid in their contract. But now that the contract is up, new bid, this is what we're left with. So it's going to be a challenge, but it's on par with what it should be.
Did you check with other towns around, and they're?
Yes, I mean, even if you look at it, compare it to, there's really no difference between collecting recyclables and collecting garbage. It's same vehicles have to go out, same routes, all the homes, 1 can a week. It's on par with what the once a week garbage would cost as well. The only difference is they get a little bit money on the commodities end of it, of the materials. You don't get that on the garbage. We pay the tipping fees. So there's that slight difference, but it comes out to be almost identical to the cost of once a week garbage collection anyways. So it is on par. It's about what it should be.
Okay.
Any questions there?
No, I just think that, you know, I think it's a great compromise. You know, like I said, when I was walking door to door, I was one of the things people talked about all the time was garbage, and if we couldn't do it twice a week, which is a crazy price, then a good compromise would be this twice in the summer. So I'm happy that the numbers came out, and we were able to do that, so.
For background, so you know, for the process, so you know, the resolutions get voted on this evening. Next step is having the contracts drafted. Contracts will simply memorialize what was in the bid specs and those, and then they'll be signed in the beginning of 2018, hopefully, no later than. And Rob Betcher and his crew has already worked with both of the vendors to get any dates, any changes. Everything's pretty much staying the same. The only difference is going to be the twice a week in the summer. So whereas right now it's Thursday, Friday collection, it's going to be Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday. So for the Friday homes, they get collected on Tuesday. Thursday homes get collected on Monday between Memorial Day and Labor Day. The bulk dates will be worked out. We're going to have the bulletin ready to go for hopefully release either the end of this year or early January.
How many year contract?
3-year contract with the option for 2 one-year renewals.
Okay.
2 1-year new?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
In
That's all I-
regards to grants, we have on also tonight as a resolution, the leveling the playing field grant, which will hopefully we'll be able to, it's a grant to make handicap accessible playgrounds in Springfield. So I think that'll be good too for our residents. I know there are families out there that are excited about this, so hopefully that'll work out too. And we'll see in the new year what happens with that.
Anything else?
That's all I've got.
I have a quick question, if I may. I know Eric and I, we discussed before the combat wounded.
Yeah, yes.
Signs for
Yes.
vehicles. Have we heard anything further about that?
I apologize if I didn't send you anything. The chief and I did look into that.
They did.
We did
Okay.
look into it. Did I mention it?
Not,
I
you
forget.
were looking into it, but then
Okay.
I didn't get a,
We spoke about it months back. I was
Yeah,
just-
we felt that there was, you know, looking at the places where we can put them, we're limited in where we can put them. It's right out here, let's say the Chisholm parking lot, because if we were gonna do it, it would be on
It has to be
our
our
property, our
property.
parking. So it would be Chisholm, let's say, here in front of Town Hall, or at the DMV parking lot. And that, right now, they've got, between the handicap parking, there's sufficient handicap parking there. If we were to take up one stall for this, it's gonna end up sitting vacant a majority of the time, and parking is a scarcity as well.
it's understandable, yeah, we have.
You can,
Then you
you know,
put 2 signs, sort of like a handicap, and that underneath it? I don't know.
no, that was the exact thing I asked the chief to look into.
What?
Either or?
No, yeah, I mean, just like, you know, people with handicap.
That was actually what, after we went over that, I asked the chief to look into that. Him and now Lieutenant Rachel looked into the laws on it. If it's handicapped, it's reserved for handicapped, you can't have that double occupancy there. So if you wanna still do it, you know, I don't think that it is, the
It's
best
tough
use.
with the limited spaces.
Right, if it was for like a Walmart where you've got a lot of spaces and a giant parking lot, but for our limited parking lots, really the 3 significant ones, the Chisholm, here in the DMV, parking is already at such a, commodity, it's
It's understandable.
not easy to do.
I
It's something
appreciate you
that we
looking
can
into it,
consider for larger, if there's any large developments or large, let's say on 22, large projects coming in there, could be a consideration for the planning board or zoning board to say, hey, we'd like you to consider having that.
Maybe we can look at it further down the road and when you develop downtown and all that. like getting a
Exactly,
spot.
maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like somewhere, like one of the blocks or one on Morris, well, we can't touch Morris Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you looking into it. I figured.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get
parking
back to you
would
on
be
that. I
scarce.
apologize.
No, that's okay.
The other thing, have you called the public about the outage of power tomorrow?
JCP&L is handling it. We were trying to facilitate, this was, as you know, supposed to happen several weeks ago. They really, between the 2 utility companies, mostly on Verizon, they messed it up when they were supposed to do it. And so it was supposed to be an overnight outage, and apparently now, this is the 3rd rescheduling, Chief, I think? The 3rd rescheduling of this outage. And they are the ones that have the list of customers who are being affected, so they have the ability to call. We don't know exactly who's being affected. You know, not everybody, they're giving streets, but not necessarily every customer on those is affected. We don't know who those people are.
Okay.
But my understanding is that they were making the calls. They told us that they were making the calls, and I think we did get a call here to Town Hall today, as well as a customer, so.
All right, just wanted to make sure of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
You know what,
and
so I-
The only thing he did, I'm sorry.
it's okay.
The other thing he didn't do is, I don't know if anybody's gone over to the pool, but was it Saturday? They're putting the joists up, the trusses and joists in the roof. It looks good. It's, I presume it's on schedule or maybe even a little bit ahead. So everything's working out so far.
I think it's somewhat ahead of schedule.
I think they were,
Knock on wood, Deputy Mayor.
Sorry.
weren't they pouring concrete
good.
today? I thought they were
Yeah.
pouring concrete today. So you know what, as a matter of fact, I do have a comment. So this is my last meeting, and I'd like to take this opportunity to say in an open forum what an amazing job I think that Ziad is doing as our business administrator. I know some people had a lot of reservations when he took over, and it's fair to say there was a period of adjustment for everyone, but you've proved yourself to be an advocate for the employees, a cheerleader for the people, and a champion for the Township of Springfield. Everyone can see how much you truly love the town and want it to be better. You have a clear vision, and I hope you can continue to see it through. I've spoken to a lot of residents, and they agree. I've also spoken to the people at the BID, Business Improvement District, who've said that your input has been invaluable in the process of downtown redevelopment. Working together with the BID, the developers, as well as bringing our state senator, Tom Kane, Assemblyman John Bramnick, and Assemblywoman Nancy Munoz on board to show them how much Springfield needs this development, will hopefully move this project quickly towards completion. I've passed by Town Hall late into the night and have found your light on. Since there's no overtime, I know it's because you want to make sure that you're doing the best job possible. I appreciate it, and I know others do as well. I don't know an administrator, another one who works as hard as you do. Your job is to oversee really all the administrative tasks for the township operations, supervise departments, maintain budgets, represent the township in a variety of settings, and so much more. In effect, you run the town, and you have done that very well. Under your direction, the township has never looked better. Each department has shined so brightly. Working together with your staff and you as team leader, all employees have stepped up their game and are making a difference in how Springfield looks and how it performs. I speak to happy employees who like to come to work every day. It's a great environment that you've created. You put a spotlight on them, not you. You lead by example. And we appreciate it, and I know we noticed. Lastly, you make all of us up here look good, keeping us up to date on all projects, giving us all the information we need to make informed decisions. You anticipate what answers we want before we even ask the questions. Because you sat up here and know how the process works, we get the benefit of all of that knowledge. It's not about what you want, it's about giving us all the information we need so that we can make the best decision for Springfield. Those qualities are what makes a good administrator a great one. All up here should recognize that, and for the betterment of Springfield, keep you right where you are doing this job every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to work with all of you, and especially our fantastic, as you said it, team. You know, they're wonderful. I'm lucky to be the administrator for such a great municipal team, and thank you.
Okay, moving on to reports. Township Committee.
I move to adopt the regular and executive minute meetings of November 13th, 2017 as emailed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Next.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I move to adopt the regular and executive meeting minutes, tongue twister. Regular and executive meeting minutes of November 28th, 2017 as emailed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections?
No.
Okay, we're gonna accept, the municipal court monthly disbursement report for November 2017 as submitted. We'll also accept the building department monthly report for November 2017 also as submitted. And we will accept the Office of Emergency Management's report for November as submitted. Okay, we'll move on to new business. We have a second reading. Madam Clerk, please read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance 2017-18. This ordinance amends Chapter 5 of the Code of the Township by adding Section 5-7.9, no dogs allowed in public buildings.
I move ordinance 2017-18 as read by Madam Clerk and publicized in local source December 28th, 2017.
Second.
Okay.
So I have some,
Hold up. Anybody from the public would like to make a comment on this, please come forward. State your name and address.
Robert Donnelly, 143 Linden Avenue, Springfield. I don't quite understand the purpose of this ordinance. Why are we singling out dogs? Why not cats and other animals? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It seems to me as a frivolous ordinance. Why is the township wasting valuable time and taxpayer money? And I really think that you really should be concentrating on more important issues that really benefit the entire town. Thank you very much for your time and consideration. Merry Christmas to you all.
You too.
Happy holidays. And happy Festivus. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, any discussion up here?
yes.
Go
So
ahead.
I really think that we should be ashamed of how this ordinance came about. There was no discussion, explanation, or justification for its need. It was added to the agenda without the deputy mayor or my knowledge, let alone the public, a move that lacks the transparency and openness that we strive for. So this ordinance was added to the agenda just minutes before the November 28th meeting was open. The clerk nor the administrator knew anything about it. The secrecy and mystery really is mind-boggling to me. A couple weeks ago, I received a copy of the November legal bill and saw one item that stood out. So this was dictated on the day on Saturday, November 25th, 3 days after the clerk finalized the agenda and sent to us. This was rushed and done without the advance knowledge and consultation that should go into drafting an ordinance. That's 3 days before the Township Committee meeting, yet we received it minutes before the meeting started. What this bill shows is that it was willfully withheld from the members of the Township Committee to keep it secret. What it also shows is that 1.3 hours were spent drafting a one-sentence ordinance at a cost of the taxpayer of $195. Now, I didn't know anything about it. Erica, did you know anything about it before you voted on it?
I think so. I thought.
You know, Ms. Bujanowski, I'll answer your questions.
Okay.
We wouldn't have to have this ordinance if I didn't have an employee who thinks he has, or tells people he has special privileges. I've spoken to an employee 3 times and sent an email stating to not bring his dog to work. I love dogs. I have 3 Yorkies, but I don't bring them to work with me. I would love to put Princess Leia in my purse and bring her here. However, I don't. So when I tell somebody or ask them, please, I love your dog, and you can bring the dog once in a while, and then that person has the audacity to bring their dog every day, and I have employees complaining to me, I have residents complaining to me, I have no choice. And I find this ridiculous that we even have to have this discussion.
You're right, I do too.
Yeah.
And the
Madam
reason
Clerk,
I have
call
the
roll
reason,
call.
I don't think we're done talking.
Okay.
Oh, this is not an oligarchy?
Oh, so wait, we're gonna have a circus over a dog?
This isn't a circus.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
With all due respect, this is not a circus. This became a circus when this was placed on our desk a few minutes prior to that meeting. That is when it became a circus. In addition to that, I will tell you what a circus is. A circus is what we're looking at right now. And this is what local residents complain about. This is what county residents complain about. And this is what national residents complain about. A circus.
Okay.
On all ends.
Let them complain.
Okay?
Madam Clerk,
hold on.
hold on.
Sorry.
We're not having this.
We are having this because you,
Madam
I
Clerk,
cannot report to you.
I am the
cannot
chair of
report
this
to you.
committee.
I understand.
I don't
you're the
report
chair.
to you.
We are one team.
Roll call now. Thank you.
I
Hold
don't
on.
report to you, ma'am, with all due respect.
Mayor.
Do you understand that?
Mayor, you are one of
You guys
5
are a
on the
joke.
committee.
This is crazy.
This is a joke. For the general public, this is a
is
joke.
absurd.
Hold it.
Madam
Let's
Clerk,
frame it.
Vendetta.
roll call
It's
now.
a vendetta and it's a joke.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
One second. I got a
hold on.
letter.
Yeah.
I got a
thank
letter
you.
mailed to me, and I forgot to bring it tonight. And I did get a letter mailed to my house.
Mailed.
Mailed to my house.
Well, that's
from a
funny
resident.
because, oh, you did?
Yes.
Why wasn't this brought up?
Well,
Why wasn't it brought up for the general public and general knowledge? I never received anything from a resident.
I did.
Wait a second. So
In
the
addition
thing
to
is,
what became
Oh, so
a circus is
let's,
this is
all right,
what
at this point, should we have
constitutes a
all our
public building?
employees bring the dogs Please, bring your dog to work. Please,
Irrelevant.
bring your dog
This
to work.
sounds like a vendetta.
Please,
It's
bring your
irrelevant.
dog to work.
It's
As a matter of fact,
irrelevant.
tomorrow, I'm gonna bring all 3 of my Yorkies here. I hope
It's
you guys
irrelevant.
enjoy them.
It's
Wait a second.
irrelevant. It's what
Madam
makes
Clerk,
this
please,
ordinance
this is absurd. We
ambiguous.
want so much more.
the roll.
It
Call roll
makes,
call. Let's
fine, I'll wait till public comment.
Fine.
Fine, I am a
Is
taxpayer
public
in this
com-
town.
So am I, and I
Good,
don't
well, then
prefer
you-
to pay somebody
Well,
to bring
is
their
public
dog.
com-
It's not nice
Anybody
for you
else
to
wanna
scream
comment?
over people. That's not the
You
way you
forget
run a
who's the
meeting.
chair of this
All right.
committee.
I didn't forget, and don't
Yeah.
forget a
Wait a
conversation
second,
earlier
Hold
in
on.
the year,
Wait
too.
a
right,
second.
all right.
I want
This
to bring
is
up the
absurd,
unintended
absurd.
consequences of
Enough.
this.
Call.
So
roll
we can't
call.
have but we will not have the rabies clinic now because there
No.
can't be any dogs in the.
No, we will have a rabies clinic.
How?
In
It's
what
not
building?
allowed in the building.
What
We will
building?
make a resolution that will temporarily suspend this ordinance, and we'll gladly have it at the DPW building. Call
To
roll
the cost
call.
of the taxpayers.
Everything costs the taxpayers.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Let's go.
Spoken like a true
All right,
Republican.
I'm going to call Committeewoman DuBois,
Yes.
Committeeman Huber,
Yes.
Committeewoman Bujanowski,
No.
Deputy Mayor Vassallo,
Absolutely not.
Mayor Stampoulis.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
Resolution.
Okay.
We're on to resolutions.
Let's adopt these resolutions by consent agenda. If anyone has an objection to pull them, please let me know. 2017-293, 2017-294, 2017-295, 2017-296, 2017-297, 2017-298, 2017-299, 2017-300, 2017-301, 2017-302, 2017-303, 2017-304, 2017-305, 2017-306, 2017-307, and 2017-308, 2017-309, and 2017-310, 2017-311. Is there a motion?
I move to adopt by consent resolutions 201-7239 through
311.
201-7311.
A second.
Okay. Committeewoman DuBois,
Yes.
Committeeman Huber,
Yes.
Committeewoman Bujanowski,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Vassallo,
Yes.
Mayor Stampoulis.
Yes.
Thank you.
Discussion action items?
I move to approve a request from the First Presbyterian Church to waive inspection permit fees associated with improvements to the old manse 41 Church Mall in the amount of $578.
I second.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
Yes. Deputy Mayor Vassallo,
Yes.
Committeewoman Bujanowski,
Yes.
Committeewoman DuBois,
Yes.
Committeeman Huber,
Yes.
Mayor Stampoulis.
Yes.
Thank you.
I move to approve applications to amend raffle licenses number 1272 and number 1272?
Oh, 73, sorry.
73 for change to date to March 15, 2018, received from the Brotherhood of Temple Sharet Shalom.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any objections?
I move to approve the request from Arts Unbound for usage of Chisholm Community for Chisholm for instruction of Springfield adult client with special needs, hold harmless, and certificate of insurance provided.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Okay, we have a correspondence from Milburn with regarding to the notice of hearing on their ordinance. Any questions on that? Okay, any unfinished business? Any public comment about any governmental items? God, here we go. At this time,
Hi, Maria Vassallo, 183 Lilac Avenue in Springfield. I want to take this opportunity to discuss a little further in detail this particular ordinance that this Township Committee has presented to our residents. This was presented to us up on this dais our last meeting, approximately 10 minutes prior to our meeting. There was no prior discussion. In addition to that, in all fairness, I appreciate your legal services this year. I surely do. I appreciate your advice. However, this information was relayed over to our township attorney and this ordinance was drawn up without our knowledge. So, one, that goes to show you the lackadaisical expenditures of certain individuals on this committee, and that will not be my name that will be included in this. I first want to put that on the record as a resident and as their deputy mayor. This was close to $200 for this ordinance. Now, with that, we have clinics that take place. Now we're going to have to temporarily suspend.
Did I stutter?
Instead of, no, you don't stutter. I know you don't stutter. I've sat up here with you. I know you don't. Okay? I'm fully aware
You'd
of
rather
that.
spend money to replace tiles in the zoning building because
Have you?
the dog?
Have
yeah,
you?
the tiles were replaced.
Tiles.
Carpet were replaced.
Okay.
Yes, I know for a fact they were.
Okay. In addition to that, so this is the money that we have to expend, right? Just last week, and what has gotten me so very upset is just last week, we had a dog that was caught. He was lost. It was a new family here in town. And the police department caught the dog. And this is what has made me so very upset, to be quite honest with you, okay? Not a vendetta, not putting politics aside, putting hard feelings aside. So now the police, they post on their Facebook page that they found a dog and it was reunited with their family. What do we do moving forward with this ordinance? Now we have to take the ordinance and we have to amend it. And we have to say that if a resident has lost their dog, that the animal control needs to come and take it to either nearby, I believe it's going to be Newark or Livingston or somewhere. The police department can't house the dog in their building.
Don't they usually have it in that garage with the crate?
But that's a building.
It's not inside the building.
It is a building. The garage is a building. So this is my point. We look at this, we're doing it quickly without amending it properly. This is what upset me the most about this, and have it thrown on my lap prior to a meeting. So I want to make it clear to the audience, and I want to make it clear to the taxpayers of this town and the residents, that anybody else that's listening, this is exactly what people complain about. Wasting money. Wasting money. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, anyone else from the public like to speak? Please come forward, state your name and address, and be mindful of our 5-minute time rule.
Jerry Fernandez, 393 Hillside Avenue. Just want to take this time, Jerry, to thank you for being up here this year, but really this year was just the tip of the iceberg. You were wonderful up here. You worked hard, and you've always worked hard for Springfield. And sometimes the residents aren't aware of what we all do, and and that's fine. But, things get done, and sometimes people don't ask how they got done. But, Jerry, all your work that you've done for so many years with the schools, Caldwell, with the veterans, with any time you've been asked for many years, not recently, but for many years, over 20 years. So we're very grateful, my family is very grateful for all you've done in all those years. I'm very grateful that this year I got to know you a little better, and I consider you a very good friend. I hope that as long as you are in Springfield that you continue to do that, and I hope more people in town see what you've done and step up, and instead of complaining and whining about things, say, hey, I'm gonna make a difference, and step up and say, I'll do it, roll up the sleeves, let's get it done. Thank you very much for everything you've done, Jerry.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Wendy Jones, 158 Milltown Road, Springfield, New Jersey. And this is to Police Chief Cook. It's been a while since I took driver's ed, so maybe I'm confused. But if a pedestrian is walking across the street, the pedestrian light is on, I mean, not even the countdown, just the icon with the pedestrian light on, right? And a car begins turning, does the pedestrian have the right of way, or the car turning have the right of way? That's my question. Any intersection, but I was walking to the post office from 158 Milltown Road. So at Milltown Road, I almost got killed. Walking across, what is that, Mountain Avenue, I almost got killed. And I'm wondering, does the pedestrian have the right of way, or does the car have the right of way? Because I really do not have time to get hit by a car. It's not on my to-do list. So I'd like to know, what is the law?
Pedestrian within the crosswalk, crossing with the light has the right of way.
All right, and that's it. And I wasn't even at the countdown, but even to the countdown, it's 15 seconds, right? So even through that 15 seconds, the pedestrian has the right of way. Okay, all right. Well, as I say, I'm not going to get hit by a car to prove a point, but I had to actually physically do this and say a few harsh words to people to explain to them that I had the right of way, right? So that's all I have to say. So I hope the police are out there, because some people may have started celebrating a little early. I don't know.
We're most certainly out there. That's something that's a big pet peeve of mine as well. So.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Anyone else from the public?
Mike Bartosh, 77 Tudor Court. I was here for the November meeting in reference to the animal control and no person having an animal in the public buildings. Hopefully this does not apply to service animals.
No, never does.
Okay, because that wasn't brought up in November.
Service or therapy dogs. If you also have a therapy dog, you need to specify that too. It's like a certification for therapy dogs.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else from the public would like to speak?
Mike Scalera, chairman of the board, co-chair actually of Scotty.
Very festive.
Thank you very much. Of the Business Improvement District. Just want to lighten it up a little bit. I just want to know, Mike Quick, who's his favorite stooge? All right. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody for 2017 in regards to the Business Improvement District. We've all worked very well together. From the beginning with Maria, Jerry, and Erica, you guys have been fantastic in the support of the Business Improvement District. The mayor has been at almost all the meetings for all our monthly meetings and has given a lot of insight in ways that we can get the Business Improvement District and the streetscape and the bonding and everything going on. But I want to say thank you again.
Thank you.
And then we got the originals here. Rich has been there from the beginning, and Rich has been outstanding in supporting us and everything that we've done. He's been in a lot of negotiations. But finally, I want to thank Ziad also. He was the original. He was the one that pulled me in and said, hey, listen, we need to make a difference in redevelopment in Springfield. And he's been very positive and very influential, very proactive in helping the Business Improvement District where it has gone today. Just the fact that he went last month with Keene, Senator Keene, Bramnick, Assemblyman Bramnick, and Assemblywoman Munoz was a huge step for us to really get to where we need to be. We're close. We're very close to having redevelopment done in Springfield. We've never been closer ever. But again, I just want to thank all of you. You've all been very instrumental. And again, happy holidays and happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Mike, I just want to thank you for all the hard work you do, because you're out there and you're doing a lot, and you just really put a great face on Springfield, and thank you for all the charitable things you do and everything that you're a part of organizing, and just thanks a lot.
Well, thank you. Kudos to all of you too, because we all have the passion to make Springfield better. So thank you again.
Oh, so you know what? I will just say that we did. There's 120 people out last week for
140, I think, right?
For Rise Against Hunger, and we packaged with your help 30,000 meals.
Yeah, within a 2.5-hour period.
2.5
Yes, it was unbelievable.
Talk about it.
Hey,
you were all there too.
Let me tell you, I'm very glad you brought that up. We can, and everybody was here from the committee, but the one thing, I think it's a great thing. I brought my grandchildren.
Yeah, the kids.
I brought
That's what I said,
the kids. All the kids were there, you know, and the kids enjoyed it. And because I want to teach my grandchildren, I'm sure everybody up here wants, give back. I taught my children that, and I'm teaching my grandchildren that. And I think it's a great thing for us to do. If they do it a couple times a year or one time a year, it was a great. I mean, Scott was there.
Very uplifting, and it was incredible. But it was the most important part was the mentorship that you showed your children of what needs to be done to give back to the community, and that was the whole thing. And we have discussed it today at the Rotary in regards to doing additional events, but not only that for third world countries and internationally, but bringing it back to Springfield and New Jersey. So
I mean, I would have bet that day, no way you're going to get 30,000 meals. Yeah. I didn't care what the odds were. But I mean, it was a machine that everybody did. The guy who was in charge, he goes all over and does it. I mean, it's
yeah, it was incredible.
I think it's a great teachable moment, and I actually think it's a great idea. If we could package a meal, and if you know, if it feeds 6 people, or whatever it does, that actually take that meal home, you know, people in Springfield buy the meal, take it home, and that's what you have to eat that day. You know what I mean? And that's really what's gonna show people exactly what other people are facing around the world. So I think that's
Again, as
a
a bid,
suggestion.
all the bid always just say is doing nothing is not an option, so we always have.
I mean, we had people,
always step forward.
waiting in the
hallway.
In the hallway. You had 20 people waiting in the hallway. I was shocked at how many people showed up from all over.
We had to hold back people. We had to hold back people. We had 20 people showed up, so. But again, I want to thank you all again. You all been tremendous, and let's all the best for 2018.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Okay, at this time, before we go into executive session, as you all know, this will be my last meeting as your mayor, and I just have a few words to say. I'm extremely grateful that I had the support of so many to be selected the chair of this committee. It has truly been an honor to serve as your mayor. My dedication and devotion to this town has exceeded far beyond my expectation, and I will continue on this path. This year, I had the opportunity to serve on the Planning Board, Library Board, Business Improvement District, Chamber of Commerce, be part of the Flood Mitigation Committee, and this was in addition to chairing the Finance Committee, Public Safety Committee, and our township meetings. I've also enjoyed the opportunity to act as the wedding official for 26 marriages this year. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many wonderful residents and volunteers. It's amazing how we can all come together and accomplish so much. I look forward to continue working with our township professionals, our dedicated employees that go above and beyond. And this town is by far a wonderful place to live. And with so many of us caring so much, it will only continue to get better. And with that, I want to wish everybody a very happy and healthy new year. So, Madam Clerk, if you can, please read the resolution by title to go into executive session.
Resolution 121917, whereas Article 6 of the Open Public Meetings Act provides that a public body may hold a closed session, and whereas the Township Committee will during this meeting enter into discussion of the following matters: contract negotiations for IT. Whereas the matters to be discussed in closed session are to remain in the strictest of confidence by all Township Committee members in furtherance of their fiduciary duties to the Township. Now, therefore, be it resolved, matters discussed at this meeting will be released to the public when the reasons for discussing and acting upon them in closed session no longer exist.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Second? Second?
Oh, second.
Okay, at this time, I'd like the public to know that we may be taking action when we come out. Correct? Yes.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.